Welcome back, everyone, to the Queen of TV channel. Now, let's get to some quick things before we get into our intro. Please watch the video to the very end and do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Second, there will be cursing and profanity. If that's not your cup of tea, the channel's not for you. Lastly, I'll be giving my opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Hello, everyone. I am your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princess. You're either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today we'll be talking about H2O Season 3, Episode 17, A Magnetic Attraction. We start this episode with Rikki at Mako Island, where she's looking around and then she ends up leaving. She meets Cleo, Bella, and Will at his shack, where Cleo shows off her glasses. She says she can see things clearer now, and when she's messing with a little clothespin or clip, the stuff you use at school and shit. Well, it ends up being attracted to the rock, and her and everyone, her, Bella, Will, and Rikki notice that it's magnetic. Cleo thinks it's a big thing, but Rikki tries to write it off. Cleo said that they need to find out more about what makes the tentacle work so they can destroy it. Makes Rikki a bit uncomfortable, and she ends up leaving. Rikki goes to the cafe where she meets up with Zane, who says she's been technically like a stranger. She has either not been at home or she's not been at the cafe. She tells him she's been at Mako Island, and when he asks what's so special about it, she tries to tell him, but he doesn't take the whole thing seriously. She gets upset with him, and he accuses her of changing, which, I mean, he's not wrong. She's rolling her eyes and leaving. Back at Cleo's house, Sam also knows how magnetic the rock is, as it has a strong pull on one of her tools. And she ends up letting Cleo know that they're going to have a guest for dinner tonight. This guest is our now official second villain of the show, which is Ryan. Ryan is a person that studies rocks and like different magnetism and stuff. He also is a person that's been traveling all around the world. He obviously catches Kim's eye, who gains this huge crush on him despite the fact that she's 13. When Cleo first meets Ryan, it's assumed that she has a crush on him. I think what it is that Cleo can notice that Ryan is handsome and she's just trying to be nice and friendly, but it comes off as she might have a crush. So Cleo is listening to Ryan's conversation when Sam brings up that Cleo is doing a rock project, which is what Cleo told her when she asked about it. And this particular rock is very special, and Ryan might want to look at it. Cleo tries to say there's nothing special about it, but Ryan wants to take a look, and this is when she reveals to him that it's magnetic. And Cleo wants to know if he has any ideas as to why it is. He says he's not sure and would have to look into it. Before they can continue talking, Kim interrupts their conversation. So Rikki tells Cleo off in this episode because Cleo lets her know that she talked to Ryan, and Ricky's upset about it, trying to accuse her of putting Mako and their secret at risk. And Bella and Will try to get Rikki to chill out. Bella even tells Rikki that they're just trying to figure out what's up going on with the island so they can destroy the tentacle. Rikki says they shouldn't destroy something that they don't understand. This upsets Cleo that Rikki and her just had this fight and that Rikki is acting this way. Back at Cleo's house, Bella tries to reassure Cleo that it's not her fault that Rikki's so distant. Rikki is back at Mako Island where she is using her powers on the rock, and she notices a change in it. It triggers her electrokinesis, and it creates this round blue orb of energy, which has amazed her. And we see Ryan show back up at Cleo's house, wanting to show her a magnetic detector that she could use. They have to tell Kim to leave so he could explain it to her. Bella and Will are together after Bella actually meets Ryan and says hello. He hoping he's not interrupting anything, but Bella's leaving anyway. So she's with Will and they talk at his shack where they have like a heart to heart where Bella's like bummed out and upset that Ricky and Cleo are fighting, saying she's never seen them like this and she's very worried about them. So he tells her everything's gonna be all right. There's nothing to worry about. They'll both end up figuring it out. But Bella isn't so sure. So Cleo shows up telling them about the detection scanner that Ryan gave them. Well, her. And Will wants to involve Ricky, but Cleo isn't so sure. But Will is able to convince her. He goes talking to Ricky, trying to convince her to tell the girls the truth. She was not letting up. She's doubling down, saying that she's trying to figure out what's going on with Mako. She'll tell them when she does that. But he says, why can't she just let Cleo help as they're both trying to figure out the same thing? They have a little back and forth, but he's able to convince Ricky to come and ask let the girls actually help. So Ricky shows up at the shack where it seems like her and Cleo are like making progress. Everything's about to be good. Cleo even apologizes, and well, that's very short lived because Ricky wants to see what the scanner can do. They're gonna look at this little project. When they do scan it, it's like completely off the charts. Ricky acts like it's not a big deal, especially when Cleo wants to look more into it. Ryan ends up calling Cleo's house. He wants to talk to her, but Kim answers, and Kim tries to pretend to be Cleo, but Ryan knows it's not Cleo, and he wants to only talk to Cleo. And Kim tries to pretend to be Cleo, but Ryan does not fall for that. And she says, "Why don't you just call a cell phone?" I mean, she's a loser anyway. Well, Cleo can't find out why the rock is the way it is because there's two rocks that should be similar to it, but it's not. Her and Ricky have a small back and forth and about it, and Bella says that not only is this whole thing with the tentacle making their life hell, but get out. No. Now shut my door. He outside. Brittany, shut my door. Get her. Shut my door. So, I'm sorry about that. That dog is not outside. I know the dog is not outside. But, yeah. Ryan ends up calling Cleo after Bella says that the whole thing with Mako's also making the two of them fight. And he wants to know if he can meet her again to analyze the rock. Her and Ricky bicker again, but Cleo lets Ricky know that she's kept this secret for a very long time. She knows how to make her own decisions, which has Ricky disappointed. And even more disappointed when Cleo ends up agreeing to meet with Ryan tomorrow, which has Ricky leave. When Cleo is leaving to go meet Ryan, Kim tries to go, but Cleo shuts that down really quick, saying that Ryan would have rocks in his head to go out, you know, to want to go out with Kim. But he would also have a police report if he did that too. So Bill goes to meet Ryan when she shows him the results they got, and he tells us what's really going on with Mako. That Mako, the rock itself, is literally a piece of the moon itself. So Mako Island is completely and utterly moon rock. Because even he's shocked to see that that's like actually real. The fact that he knew that by just looking at the numbers just tells you that people been probably studying the moon for a long fucking time. So Ricky's back at the island where she continuously uses her powers on the rock like she did before. Cleo and Ryan have a conversation where he starts complimenting her and flirting with her, and Cleo is just being friendly to him. They both walk away. Now they both do look back at each other. So I can understand why people saying that Cleo has a crush on him. Hell, even on the wiki it says she has a crush on him, but I don't fucking see it. Because if Cleo had a crush on him, she probably would have broken up with Lewis first instead of like entertaining that. So that's why that's so hard for me to believe. I believe she's just being nice to him, and what he said she took as a compliment. So Cleo with Bella goes tell Rikki, who they were looking for, knew was at Mako, about what Ryan found. Rikki goes on the offense and accused Cleo of just being into Ryan, and that's the only reason why she's asking him to help with Mako, and that what Cleo's doing is putting the rest of them at risk. She accuses Cleo putting it at risk to the point where Rikki said she needed to protect Mako from Cleo. Yeah, she said that. Now, I'm going to talk about that in the review. But Cleo obviously tells Rikki, I don't even know you anymore. She leaves with Bella, who is sulking when they get to Will's shack, and Will has had enough. He decides to tell them the truth about what's going on, while Rikki continues going down this downward spiral, constantly using her powers on the island, which will end up biting her in the ass the next time she does that. So let's now get into the review. First of all, we're going to ignore the whole thing with Kim. And I went into talking about that, and I talked about that for far too long. So we're just going to skip that and just put that down to Kim is completely delusional. So, Rikki's behavior in this episode. If Emma had been there, Rikki wouldn't be talking like that. First of all, Emma would have told Rikki, and you keeping secrets is hurting Mako too. Because there is no way that this shit would have flew with Emma. The thing about Bella that I think people hate about her is that Bella is too supportive and too nice, while Emma wasn't that. And a lot of people hated Emma for her type of attitude. But then again, that would mean that the people that hate Bella, that hated Emma for acting like that, but hate Bella for not being like Emma, are hypocrites. Because let me tell you something. Yes, Bella is a nice person and she's trying to be supportive. But at the same time, this is affecting Bella too, because it breaks her heart to see her two friends fight like this. With Emma would have put Rikki in her place, because Rikki has also put Mako at danger at times. That time that she kept the secret about her dating Zane could have put them at risk as well. But the fact that she would accuse Cleo of emotionally cheating on Lewis, and that she's using Mako as an excuse so she can go out with Ryan, is insane. Because there's nothing to insinuate that, and there's no evidence or proof of that. But she's accusing her of this because she is mad that Cleo is getting help from outside sources, but it's not like she can get help from her so-called friend who is not being open about her feelings to them and is putting them at risk by doing that. Everything that Rikki is doing is also putting Mako and them at risk, because if Rikki would open the fuck up, then Cleo would have not had to go to Ryan. But then again, that whole damn thing about the moon is a good fucking discovery, because hell, if Rikki had told them and they had not involved Ryan, guess what? They would have not figured the fuck out why on earth the island started acting the way it did later on into the fucking season, because it's literally the fucking moon itself. Now they understand how they became mermaids, because everything that happened is the full moon itself. The moon controlling them. The moon turned them into mermaids because the whole island is made out of the fucking moon. So instead of being glad that they got this fucking information, he decided to double down and act like she know better than them, all because you fucking told the tentacle to not hurt Will and you saw a shimmering fucking light inside of it. And you can literally use your electrokinesis on the island. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. What are you actually doing, Rikki? Because it looks like to me that Cleo is actually figuring shit out and actually doing something while you're sitting on your ass chilling out being a mermaid. That's it. You're not doing anything but living through the motions. Going through the moment. Everybody else around you is trying to figure out their lives and do what the fuck they got to do. You're completely fucking checked out. Hell, no fucking wonder that Zane ended up getting so fucking close to Sophie because you are fucking checked out. You're not literally trying to like learn how to just live your fucking life and let the shit with Mako like figure itself out. Just being out there is not you figuring anything out. It's just you chilling out there. You do not have a connection with the fucking island. You don't even understand what's even going on. You just think you do. You don't even know what the tentacle is actually doing. All you know is that it's been trying to protect y'all. That's it, but you don't know what it actually is for, what it actually does. You don't know any of this. You just are amazed at the greatness that's happening out there. That's it. You are being an absolute asshole. I'm telling you right now, this episode could have made me have a pure fucking love-hate for Rikki. I love Rikki to death, but sometimes she is impossible to love. How can you love somebody that is completely on the offense? Shut my door. That's Rikki for you. So let's talk about Ryan. First of all, I know everybody is assuming that Cleo has this crush on Ryan. Because when Cleo first met Ryan, she took her glasses off and she smiled, but she smiled nervously because she wasn't that invested. The whole time that Ryan was talking about his life story, she wasn't even that invested. She seemed like her mind was somewhere else. She at first didn't even want to tell him about the rock, but Sam brought it up and Ryan insisted. When she was showing him about the island, Cleo was being nice to him the whole time. Not the island, the rock. She was being completely nice to him. She wanted to get Ryan's help because she believed he actually could help them figure things out because they've tried everything else. And they needed a second opinion. So Ryan complimented her, which was a good compliment. Obviously, he's flirting with her. He doesn't know she has a boyfriend. And she accepted it, right? She's not flirting back. She's being nice to him, and she walks off, and he walks off, and he looks back, and she looks back. But because she looked back, I'm guessing people assuming that she has a crush on him. Okay, I can see it. But she doesn't have a crush on him. Okay? Women tend to do this. Hell, men do this. When somebody compliments us, we react a certain way. And it may seem like we're flirting. It may seem like we're flirting back. We're being nice. We're making conversation, basically. And it's nice to be complimented by somebody, and you intend to reciprocate in a way to make other people feel like you're flirting. She's not flirting. We're not flirting, guys. We're not flirting. We're just making conversation. Cleo does not have a crush on him. I'm not mad at y'all for thinking that. I'm pissed off at Rikki, okay? Obviously, I'm mad about that. So, I'm not mad at y'all by saying that. It's just me being upset and frustrated with Rikki. About damn time Will actually told the fucking truth. I wish Will had done that earlier in the episode and just told them to pretend that like they don't know. But I'm glad he told them at the very end because he didn't let it go too far. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the episode. Obviously, this episode pissed me off, so obviously this episode will be in my least top 10. Um, I'm gonna give it to y'all to guess what number this would rank, depending on how pissed I seemed. But I can tell you right now, it is not low, but at the same time, it's not high. So Yeah. Take a good educated guess about what number I would rank this. Think about everything that happened after this episode, all the way up to the finale. So episode 18 to the finale. To take a guess, depending on how I would be upset about those next couple episodes, do you think that this would rank? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if no one's told you this today, I'm telling you, I love you. I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye guys.